I'm Sydney.
And Connor.
And welcome back to my Flock and Squawk. And I don't know if I've revealed it in the title, but I've definitely shared it over on Instagram, and I hinted to it in the last video. But we have a pretty big announcement.
Yeah.
And that is that we got engaged.
Yeah.
Right before Rose City, we ended up getting engaged, and I just realized the camera's slightly cutting off your head because you're tall.
It happens.
Yeah. But that is our big announcement, and so if you want to kind of hear more about that, stay tuned. But we are just kind of working on making dinner. It's been a very busy last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what we can do for this week's video. But since we have such exciting news, that means we also get to talk about it.
Yeah. And right now we're making a curry.
Yeah, I know I've shared this curry at some point on my channel, but it's probably been at least a year and a half at this point since I last shared it. But it is very simple. I'm dicing onion, Connor's got carrots, and we have potato. And then there is a seasoning puck of sorts.
Yeah. It's kind of like a cube.
Yeah, it kind of has like some of the oils and then all of the curry seasoning all in one cube. It almost looks like a chocolate bar, so.
It does.
But that is what we are going to be using for the main flavors. And then we haven't really discussed what kind of protein we're going to throw in. We usually like to throw in both chicken and lentils.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we are actively making while we talk about stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know how to start other than, I guess, when we left for Rose City.
Yeah. We could actually go with how
start
right off the bat, how you were upset with yourself.
Yeah.
With forgetting the tickets, and I was trying to tell her, like, well, you know, we both forgot.
Yep. So basically, we live a substantial distance from Portland. So we decided to drive there because that made the most sense for us and what we wanted to do. So basically, I booked us a hotel a little bit, like, it was about 2.5 hours from home. It ended up being like 3 hours with the road work. So that was our first destination right after work. I had to work that day, and then Connor had the day off, and he was prepping to get us ready to go. So after work, we left the house thinking we had everything. We got 2 hours from home, so almost to the hotel, and we realized that we didn't grab the badges. We had them on the fridge. And so we had to turn around, and my mom luckily had a key to our house, grabbed the badges, and met us. She drove 45 minutes or so from our house, so we only had to backtrack a little over an hour instead of the full 2 hours, and then all the way back again. So I was really beating myself up because I thought if I put it on the fridge, it's a very visible spot, there's no way we can forget. And then obviously we did. But in hindsight, we have a little bit of a better, like, not necessarily better because we both forgot. Yeah. But a little bit more context as to why Connor specifically forgot.
Yeah, because when I was getting stuff, I had thought about it too. It was a funny part. Like during the day when I was putting stuff together, and I should have grabbed them the moment I was thinking about it. I believe one of the cats decided that they were going to make themselves aware of everything, and ended up getting into trouble, which is why I stopped away. And then immediately after dealing with that, it was like, okay, grab the important stuff. I was grabbing something important, and then so I went and I put the ring away in some way to keep it hidden while also being packed with us, because I couldn't just pack it. It would be blatantly obvious.
Well, and I was really upset because it's like, gosh, I should have remembered to check it. I left it there specifically because it was visible. And luckily, the hotel I picked specifically had late check-in.
Yeah.
So you could check in until 2 in the morning. So us getting there later than we anticipated was not a big deal. A lot of the other hotels in that area, though, only allow check-in until 9 p.m. So luckily, I had at least that forethought of I'm getting off of work, and then it'll be later So at least there was that. We didn't go without a hotel for the night.
Yeah.
So that was the start of our trip. And then the next day we finished driving to McMinnville, which is actually an hour south of Portland, because we were going to be staying there and taking some couples photos. It's supposed to be graduation photos for me, which there were, but since Connor was there, it's like we might as well, if we're going all this way just for photos, take photos together.
Yeah, and that's where my plan had hatched from, where it was like, okay, well, she'll be dressed nicely and have her hair done and look all pretty, and there's no worries about me, you know, wearing a nice shirt to go along with her, and like I didn't have to do the whole like, hey, you should dress nice, hey, you should wear something. It's like, hey, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's already taken care of.
And it's just like, I graduated in 2020, so I never got those photos. And in my mind, I was just like, yeah, take a few photos for mom, and then take some couples photos because we're going all that way. It's a beautiful campus. And when I was going to school there, I kept seeing that there was a vintage trailer park. So it's a little bit outside of McMinnville. There is a trailer park where they have one full section of vintage trailers that you can rent out. And we ended up staying in a 1957, I believe, Airstream.
So, yeah.
But so we're going to a beautiful place to take pictures. We were staying in a cool spot, and I had absolutely no clue what was going to happen.
Yep, snuck it in there. Talking about squirrels.
Yep. So we were taking pictures on campus, and I am not going to be including it in this video. I think I just kind of want to save that clip for us, and maybe eventually we might share that. But at least where we are now, I just want to save that beautiful moment for us of you proposing. But essentially, we took photos, we sat down on a bench underneath all these trees overlooking the beautiful fields and right by the beautiful brick buildings. And we were talking to the camera. We had 2 cameras set up because Connor thought of bringing an old film camera.
Yeah, it's a retro mini DV recorder.
Yep, so we had that on one tripod. We had the camera that we're currently talking to on another, and we were just chatting on the bench, talking about how we're going to be going to Rose City and how beautiful it was. Then we got up. For my thought was just like, turn off the cameras, you know, check out campus a little bit more, and then go have dinner.
That was my secret way to get it recorded, because since she vlogs, it was easy to say, oh, you know, we could do some sort of vlogging while there. And then we both like retro tech, and we hadn't had a chance to use the mini DV. So I thought to myself, how can I get this recorded? Because one thing is, Sydney has mentioned plenty of times how she loves the look of the old analog recording version, even though mini DV is technically digital, but you get it. It's a tape.
There's still a quality to it.
Yeah, it still has the same look as like VHS, and so my thought was, okay, I could get it recorded if I say we're comparing the 2 cameras. So the idea was that we could have it recorded on the mini DV, but then also have it recorded on a regular camera, so we have high resolution and all that.
Like as a backup, because we don't know if the camera is going to, for one, properly record, or 2, be able to get that recording off of it.
My biggest worry was that the battery may just decide it's not going to work properly, even if it was fully charged. It could only last for 2 minutes, who knows?
Yeah, and luckily it seems that it has recorded, but we haven't tried pulling that footage off. But I do have the recording on this camera, which when I stood up, I was going to turn it off, and then Connor was like, oh, look, the squirrels. There were a couple of them playing. And so I was like, yeah, the squirrels, and went to...
Yeah, she wasted no time getting up. It was like, all right, thanks, bye. And then up. And I was like, ooh, I gotta, like...
Yeah, so I went to turn off the camera after acknowledging the squirrels. And then Connor was just like, hey, Sydney, and, like, had kind of, like, grabbed my hip and turned me. And then I just saw him there, light just like streaming through the trees, lighting him up all golden, and just like I'm looking into his eyes, and he's just like, "Will you marry me?" And then the ring.
Yep, that ring.
Yeah, so I'll give some close-up shots, and I'll also insert a couple of our photos that we took while there.
Yeah.
But that was how you asked me, and then I just started like laughing and be like, I didn't expect this till October.
Yep.
Yeah, because in my mind, October probably would be the season if Connor were to propose this year, because it's before all the holiday rush.
Yep.
So.
But yep, got it in there.
Yep, so Connor proposed to me in a very cute way, and then we spent 3 days dressing up in cosplay at a convention, which you saw part of that in the previous vlog. But that's part of why I didn't film too much at Rose City, because for one, the convention was overwhelming, but for two, it's just like, I want to just enjoy spending time with my fiance.
Exactly.
Yeah. So...
Yep, and then we're putting together now, and it was like, oh, what do we want to do for this weekend? Because I always encourage her to, like, I'm very supportive of making videos and everything. Yep, and
for our privacy and just enjoyment, I don't want to film all of the wedding stuff. I just sort of want to share a little bit, like I might film if I'm making something for the wedding, but I don't want our wedding to be like the big feature film of my channel. But I just want to, give a couple updates. So maybe after the fact, I'll share some of the wedding details, just kind of like talking with the camera. But I don't want just our whole life to be completely on camera like that. But for now, let's finish up this curry. So I got a pot with some oil heating up so we can toss some of this stuff in.
And you'll see curry making, and then a finished curry more than that. Do you need more onion?
I can cut up more onion.
I got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I like doing it. It's fun.
Well, so long to camera A because it's getting a little mad, but time for B cam. Wow, the B cam has been here the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
You're so sexy.
Oh, thank you. So are you.
Look at him peel the onion.
Yeah, I get rid of the outer layers, of course, because it's just paper. I get rid of usually a little bit of the next layer, just like that, because it's...
yeah, the very top.
Yeah, because it's kind of also papery.
Yeah. Did you know that, botany speaking, so plant biology stuff, that what we eat of the onion are its leaves?
Oh.
It's one of the few plants where the leaves are underground.
Oh, I did not know that, actually.
Yeah. So technically those are its leaves, even though, they don't really do leaf stuff.
I was wondering about that before, because it's like, there's not like seed, so it's not a fruiting body. Because typically when you get a fruit...
Well, the onions that do flower kind of shoot up and then have a flower outside.
Yeah,
but
that makes
this is
sense.
technically a leaf.
Ah, well, I like leaves. I like onions.
So eat your vegetables, including the leafy ones.
Heck yeah. Stay healthy.
Yep, so that is onion cutting up, and here are the onions and carrots started. And just have some oil. And that's pretty much this going, and then the potatoes will go in. And then this is what the curry box looks like. I'm sure I've shown it before, but this is just Japanese curry mix. We got it from H Mart this time because it's the most affordable place, but it's not that expensive on Amazon. It's under $5 for this size box. So, yeah, this is what we're doing. Nice. Potatoes, potatoes. And we're just sort of giving the potatoes a rough chop because we like a little texture.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so good at cutting potatoes. I just turn around and turn back, and they're cut. Stinky little baby Guggy.
The newest member of the household.
Yep, we had him out of wedlock. He takes after his papa. He's got the dark hair, just like Connor.
Yeah.
He's very stinky. Emotionally, not literally. He's got little baby syndrome.
Yeah, he does. He has Dennis the Menace vibes.
Which version of Dennis? British or American?
American.
Merkin.
Yep.
Yeah. There he is. Just walking down the street.
Is he singing Do I Diddy Diddy Dum Diddy Do?
I don't know if he has the mental for that.
He may. He may not.
Oh, but real quick before actually, this is kind of what it looks like outside of the box, and then if we open it, this is why it kind of gives chocolate bar vibes. It's brown. And then it is delicious, and it doesn't smell like chocolate, so you wouldn't mistake it, but it's kind of got some where you can separate out little hunks of it. But yeah, now cut to finished curry. We have rice that Connor made, and then we have the curry itself over here. So we're going to plate things up. We got a bowl.
Yeah.
So not really plating, just bowling. For soup. Not
dishing
soup.
Out.
Come on, girl, let's dish.
It's gonna be delish.
Yep, and there's Guggy. He doesn't understand anything. Look at our beautiful curry. It's kind of coming up red on the viewfinder of the camera.
Oh.
But it is a gorgeous, rich brown.
It's like a golden color, yeah.
Yeah, which hence the name Golden Curry.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's very hot. But you can see the potatoes, the carrots, the lentils. The onion kind of like blends in with everything, but delicious. So yeah, that is our engagement story and making our dinner.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you enjoy whatever's to come. Like I said, I don't want to share too much of our wedding and personal life like that, but maybe after we get married, we'll share a little bit more specific details. But if I have some projects coming up for the wedding, that'll be more what I share, if anything. But for now, thank you, and see you later. Bye!
Bye!
Thanks for all the fish.